First sign, burping or bloating. And it can even just be like the little burps. It doesn't have to be like the huge belch captain of the world. You can just be having those little burps, especially after meals. And if you're burping or if you're bloating, this is usually a sign of bacteria in the stomach or small intestine where it shouldn't be. Our beneficial bacteria should just be in the large intestine. So when bad bacteria is in our stomach, they create these gases, which creates pressure, and that's going to push that gas back up and cause us to burp, or it's going to cause the stomach or intestinal tract to expand and then we bloat. The thing about having proper stomach acid function is that it fries these bacteria when they come in on the food that we're eating. It's the barrier to the whole body. Our stomach acid is that knight in disgusting armor. So if you're burping or you're bloating and that bacteria came in, it's usually because there's not enough stomach acid to fry them and kick them out the door. Sign number 2 is if you experience heartburn, acid reflux, or GERD. Yes, these are all signs of not enough stomach acid. They don't come from too much stomach acid like we're told by advertisers. If this is new information for you, you really want to check out our video on why do I have acid reflux, because you need to understand why this comes about. When there's not enough stomach acid in there, it doesn't have the ability to trigger that valve at the bottom of the esophagus to close correctly, and then the reflux comes back up. So this is a really strong sign of someone not having enough stomach acid. And here's another sign. If you're using an acid reflux medication or antacids or a PPI, all those are a really strong sign of low stomach acid because they all turn off stomach acid or they all neutralize stomach acid. They're either turning it off or neutralizing it so it can't function correctly. So if you're using any of those issues, it's almost a confirmation that you have low stomach acid. Sign number 3 is indigestion or digestive discomfort. You know, if you feel like you just feel like you're really full for a really long time after you eat, or food just kind of sits there like a rock in your stomach for hours, these are all signs that you're not breaking that food down. And when you don't have enough stomach acid to break that food down, then it has to break down by a process of rotting and fermenting. And this rotting and fermenting can create toxins and gases, and these gases create more pressure and discomfort, especially if you're uncomfortable after a large protein meal. We really need stomach acid to break down protein properly and turn that into amino acids that the body can use as building blocks. So if you eat a steak and it just feels really miserable in your stomach, or some type of high protein meal, it's really likely that you don't have enough stomach acid to break that meal down properly. Number 4 is chronic nausea. So if you're nauseated all the time, this is a really strong sign that you're not breaking down that food, and that rotting and fermenting is creating too many toxins that are making the system a little bit too toxic. Now, it's also possible to deal with chronic nausea from poor bile flow. So that's the other half of digestion that needs to be working correctly for us to really be able to break down our food like we should.